Yes, we are indeed. We're fully ready and raring to go. Do you want to do the scores very quickly, Dan? And you get sorted. It was Noggano is 1-0 up against DevM.
Of course.
Let's talk about factions. DevM playing Wehrmacht. Very sensible choice for him, considering he's only owned OKW very recently. His first faction was USF, then he bought the base game, and then now he's got OKW. But he's not going to try them, of course, because Wehrmacht are very similar to CoH2Go4 Wehrmacht, so he's got a lot of knowledge about how to play this kind of faction.
Yeah, DevM's austere play is always top-notch. The interesting choice here, I think, is Noggano's choice for USF. You know, we've just come into what is basically, you know, a new patch here, and a lot of people going USF. You know, USF strong again. USF, you know, doing good things, and it's weird because obviously Lunga's Car is one of those maps. You know, USF is good for flanking. You know, make use of the smoke, and of course there's lots of things they can do there. But
any
it's
other
more
game
closed off.
Any other game, Dan, in the early game, I would never cut you off because it's analysis central. But with DevM, with his MG on Longer Skya, I have seen him be so brutally aggressive in those first few minutes that I just feel like we have to stay. If you see that MG go anywhere near that northern cutoff, it could be, you know, it could be a smashing battering ram.
Yeah, of course. But this is more what I'm saying. I actually think Longres is the most suitable place for USF. You may get some great early game plays, but we fully expect that DevM's going to know exactly how to counter those and counter them quickly.
And here you go, Dan. This is it. So the Pioneer will go for the cutoff. The Grenadier here will stay in the center. The MG will try and suppress the units, and it's all about using these 3 units together to take this cutoff and the victory point. So right now, the MG will take the victory point. The cutoff has been whited. The MG will now be able to push into a more northern sector. The Grenadier's job will be to cut off flanking units from the west and also keep pressure on the east. And if DevM can pull it off with these 3 units, and we know he can, if he can, it could be curtains already in the first 5 minutes, and that is not an exaggeration.
Yeah, it's such a strong push. You've got to expect as well, Noggano knows DevM is this kind of player, and he really should have been a little hotter on defending that. DevM, of course, rearranging the MG, fully expecting, you know, the 3-rifle flank there to try and counter him. Second Grenadier squad as well coming in for support, so it's not going to be easy by any means.
There you go. You can see the rifles are actually going to try and flank around the southern tip there. Just giving you a little bit of an idea of where the units are right now, because it's massively important. This MG's cone of fire is trapping this rifle. This rifle here is going to take the southern breach of the MG, but there's another Grenadier trying to cut him off. It looks like Noggano's managed to find that exploit in DevM's positioning, so the MG's going to have to repurpose itself. Noggano's doing very well in defending this. He doesn't currently have any territories. It does not matter, because DevM's MG was not able to set up in a brutal bottleneck and pin Noggano in his base.
That is not a favourable engagement at all. Oh, gosh, no!
Massive from Noggano. What a great pickup. He managed to wipe one of the first 2 Grenadiers, and now that's DevM. His MG, by the way, is having to retreat back to base. Noggano's managed to defend his northern position. He's now making up the manpower war.
Yeah, that whole engagement was just not favourable for him at all. He's engaging rifles in, at some point, negative cover at close range. They had the advantage then. DevM stayed in there, and of course, he suffered a huge early loss at the moment, and 360 manpower spent on the sniper. It's going to be difficult for him to, you know, reinforce everything and build his next unit. He's really, really down at the moment.
I just want to talk. So originally I gave that little bit of analysis where if DevM sets up here and targets here, it's difficult to flank from the west because he'll cut you off. Noggano did something else, Dan. He approached from the east and the south to take out DevM's forces. Great position and great tactical play from Noggano.
Yeah, it really was good. And I think you look at his build order, 4 rifles. I think he was probably expecting that not to go as well as it was. Whichever way he techs up right now, Lieutenant or Captain, I imagine he's probably going to look to go for the Captain. You know, he's going to get a lot more manpower on the field than his opponent. And DevM's 1 sniper, as good as it is, you know, at long range doing the manpower damage, probably not going to be able to stand up to that.
I tell you what, if he gets balls on these riflemen, they pick up veterancy, you'll really start to see the bonus of the advantage of those bonuses come into full effect. The sniper's going to be a thorn in his side, though. So if DevM manages to concert his effort and to consolidate his forces, he could start making the sniper work. And Dan, as you said, if he's going for Captain and Stuart, the sniper's going to be picking people off for a long period of time.
It's going to have to. It's the only real way. I can see him making some kind of ground to get into the mid-game evenly. Yeah, this is difficult. Look at this. There's not much he's going to be able to do. I wonder as well if we're going to see any kind of rifle or smoke tech for the riflemen. That's going to make them very, very adept at taking the strategic point. They're going to be able to defend themselves quite well.
No upgrades as of yet, so it's just the rifles with their rifles doing the work, but they're doing that work down. They've managed to neutralize the cutoff.
Look at that capping. Look at the capping all over the map. This is actually what we wanted to see from DevM last game. You know, we wanted to see that early VP pickup. Looks like he's going to get triple capped as well. VP per second going down. That's precisely what you want when you're playing against Axis. You know, reduce the amount of time they have to get those more powerful units out in the late game. And Noggano's doing so good right now. Let's have a look at how DevM's going to counter it with the 2-2-2.
Indeed, I was just about to say, yeah, so the 2-2-2's had a massive health buff, 50%. Additional health, so it really is quite a potent unit now. It takes 3, well, I was going to say anti-tank grenades, but anti-tank rifle grenades to even get close to killing it. So it's a real, can be a real tour de force in that early game.
I think just looking at the fuel, it looks like he may have teched up to grenades then. Looks like something, maybe it was weapons upgrades. I'm not really sure about that. And just look. No? Not at all?
No, he has to build his lieutenant, and he's got the AA half-track coming out. Dan, AA half-track's great against 2-2-2s. Rifle just getting out of there.
Really is. The 2-2-2 still has some opportunities if he times it right to get in and deal some damage, but the AA should win most of those engagements no matter how it goes. So again, a nice little build to counter DevM there, and he's going to do a lot of work with the 2-2-2 and the sniper in collaboration with each other. The MG and the Grenadier really don't seem to be that useful right now.
Sniper already up to 7 kills, doing great work against Noggano's forces. Oh, it's all about this AA half-track when it comes out, Dan. It's really good against scout cars.
Yeah, it is. And the other thing, you know, Noggano waited for this. He didn't tech up straight away. You know, he did have that fuel for a while. That's why I was a little bit confused about where the tech was going. But actually, you know, he's waited. He saw the scout car. It was a little bit of a gamble. I don't really know what else DevM would have gone for except a strong tier 1 build.
Okay, let's watch DevM's sniper micro. He's taken a lot of shots already. Scout car trying to cover for the sniper. He's going to have to go north with it. It's got a slither of health remaining. Will the rifles be able to target it? He's trying to make it to cover. There aren't any infantry squads just north of the sniper, so it looks like it's going to be safe for now. But that's going to mean Medbug is going to have to go up in base, Dan.
Yeah, again, little things like that. Chasing the sniper, forcing your opponent to spend 60 munitions on the medics. And of course, the 150 manpower comes from building the bunker. There it goes right now. It's the appropriate response to that situation. But, you know, if he was a little more careful with his sniper, then he wouldn't be in that position to use that. So it's a lovely play by Noggano.
He just wasn't getting cloak from the cover. Did you notice?
I think, actually, he wasn't quite in the cover when that was happening. It seemed like he was moving around a lot when he could have just run straight into cover. So I do think that was genuine.
A little bit of an error there, yes, the scout car. This is a vet rifle, so you will be seeing, yeah, the anti-tank grenade goes in and keeps it at bay for the time being.
Nice response with the Panzerschrecks, though.
Yes. That's going to delay his... Oh, no, he had 180 munitions in the bank there, Dan. And he spent them.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good idea for him to do that. I think it's better than the AT gun, of course, because DevM, who frequently obviously plays as USF, will know that light vehicles can be a real pain if you've got the, if you've just got the pack there. So this provides him with a really good way of holding off that A half track. It makes it less of a good idea for Noggano, but of course, you know, they can still suppress the Panzer Grenadiers at a range before the Shreks can fire.
I was about to say, I mean, they are a great utility, but you have to use combined arms play and positioning to make use of them, because the AA half track will suppress them before they can fire the Panzer Shreks. This is always the time in the game where med bunkers tend to be built around this time, and DevM's got his ambulance out as well. So a little bit of an investment there. Here we go, but DevM's largely focused in the north. He's got his rear echelons doing capping in the rear, as they would commonly do. And the rifles are in strong positions. Here we go, going for the cover.
This, though, we're expecting these Panzer Grenadiers shouldn't be able to get that close to the AA if Noggano's paying attention, but he does take one hit from him. What a brutal position as well to have that AA. Complete suppression and cannon fire right on top of the strategic point there. But unfortunately, Noggano hasn't quite managed to crack yet.
Yeah, he's not managed to crack anything, but he's managed to swallow up territories. I mean, if you look at the map, it's all blue seemingly right now.
DevM, by the way, has been forced into playing mobile defense. Of course, players do mostly get forced into playing mobile defense if such a strong early game like this does come in. He will have access to the Puma. I think he does have access to it coming up very, very shortly. So that's going to help him deal with the AA. He could look to retake some ground. There's still every chance he can get in it, but 287 VPs left. 10 minutes into the game. Oh. It's a huge triple cap that's coming from the start.
With the Puma play as well, it's purely anti-tank. And if bars get put on, oh my god, something more than bars, Daniel. We've had the M191A6 light machine guns put on those infantry. They're just going to get picked off. Are the Wehrmacht forces, and a Puma's not going to help against them. No.
Yeah, I mean, M19s, they're going to be so good, obviously, against the Sniper as well. Sniper has to be that extra little bit more careful in case it takes return fire. Panzerschreck's really little chance that they're going to be able to get near that AA half-track now.
No, they're going to get pushed off, and they're very expensive units, 32 manpower a pop. And the Sniper, as you say, long range or the LMGs, they'll be able to pick them off if he's not too careful. Oh, God! There you go. It was the AA half-track eviscerating the 222.
Very, very important pickup there. Puma's just hit the field as well, so there will be some kind of vehicle that can start coming back from this. I get the feeling, by the way, it's really DevM's, what we know about DevM and the fact that he is such an aggressive player. There's constant aggression. I think it's going against him because right now I really feel like he needs to just play defensively, lock down a little bit of territory, build up, but he's not. I mean, even the few things that he has on the field right now, he's still playing them very, very aggressively through the center. Even the MG positioning very aggressive.
I think he's having to, because Noggano is literally trying to tie a noose around his neck right now. If he doesn't kick and struggle, he's going to go out. Noggano, that first 5 minutes, just watch it back again, guys, once this cast finishes today, because that first 5 minutes was beautiful. It could have gone so wrong for either player. And here comes the Puma, the knight in white shining armor, going straight in for the A half-track. Will DevM manage to forge his way back into the game? Attacks ground, hits the target! He's going to retreat down the bonus road and get the hell out of there.
Absolutely beautiful play there from DevM. Kind of evening a little bit, but now it comes down to this infantry engagements. The M19s on the squads and on the echelons as well, which means their suppression fire is able to pin squads near instantly with that. It's really, really good ability. It's still not an easy game at all right now, and of course the Puma, a heavy fuel investment for someone who has been resource denied the way that he has, is now not really that effective against the infantry. So in the grand scheme of things, it's a response, but it isn't going to get him anywhere at this point in time.
God, Dan, he's even turned his rear echelon into an anti-infantry menace with an LMG. Sniper's got something to say about that. The Sniper as an update. God. Dear God, he's racking up the kills. Rear echelon, just as I talk about him, looks like he might be going down to 1 STG. On retreat, does indeed die elsewhere in the west. Pioneer, in turn, getting a lot of attention.
He needs to hold it together right now because that was a very, very easy engagement to avoid. There was nothing else in the field, and he just wasn't looking there. I don't know what he was doing. Can't afford to make mistakes like right now because he's in such a good position. And DevM is looking to capitalize on things like that. He really, really will have his eye out for moments where Noggano isn't on the same engagement he is. And you know what DevM's micro is like. That
yes,
could
you're bang on there, mate. That's how he exploits the situation. DevM was notorious in CoH2Go4 for multi-throwing grenades in multiple areas of the map, and you'll see a lot of that in this game. He will be looking to win this entire thing today, and if you think he's going to go out with a whimper, think again. If he goes out swinging. Puma under heavy fire from those bazooka men there. Oh, hitting the mark yet again.
Again, I mean, that's the kind of pressure, really. The Puma's come out. It's not really useful for anything right now. It may get the occasional pot shot. I don't think it has the veterancy to use any kind of aim ability, but it's relatively, been used to counter and now lies useless. And there's going to be a great chance right now for Noggano to out-tech DevM.
God, we've got engagements ready to go on in all flanks of the map. In the center, it looks like DevM's won that engagement for now, but it looks like that was due to a lot of Noggano's forces being in the west, so we've had an exchange in territories there.
Sniper, by the way, I just saw the Sniper picking up some M19 fire from the house. Needs to be really careful with that. I mean, he isn't doesn't seem to be gluing to the cover positions like he normally does. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on him right now that I'm just not used to seeing DevM in this position.
Yes, indeed. I mean, he's got 27 kills, so he's doing okay, but he's come very close to death twice now.
Well, 27 kills in this situation. Bear in mind, you know, for the majority of the game, he's been outmanned, you know, caught off guard as well.
Oh, could be happening again, Dan.
I mean, 27 kills with this unit right now, I think, is phenomenal play.
And here you go, suppression, combined arms, sniper going prostrate, one big shot from max range. No, Caster's Curse yet again.
You could literally narrate the game, couldn't you, with Caster's Curse? You don't
who can you always rely on, by the way, other than Caster's Curse?
I don't know.
I don't want to
say all the things that came through my head.
Yes, Ostrupen are on the field indeed, of course, one of the major
There's plenty of things you can rely on to happen here. That was not the one that went through my mind.
But of course, he was a little bit unlucky not to get an LMG on any of those routes, so that's an interesting little bit of lack of luck from DevM. Major is a major sticking point in the east there, maintaining the garrison. Sniper under heavy fire! MG just about keeping it alive.
Look how ballsy he is. He turns and takes the shot.
Of course he turns and takes the shot. It's DevM!
Yeah, he's really, really good. You see how focused he is on the position, although he may lose it here again. Just so confident in his plays, so confident. I think that's probably hit above 30 now on the kills, so
yes,
nearly climbing.
Yes, we're on 32 now, Daniel.
2 per minute, which is exactly where he wants it. And if he can last a little bit longer, I mean, we are stretching onto 100 VPs now, but if he can last a little bit longer, he probably has done enough manpower damage over the course of this game to start you know, to start bringing something on.
Well, think of it this way: he's paid for himself at 13 kills, and now he's paid for the Grenadier, and now he's starting to get free. Oh dear, just lost the MG42. A little bit of veterans loss, but Ostrupen very quickly take it, and they only cost 60 manpower to replace. So then very good units to be taking support weapons with. So that again is DevM clawing his way back into the manpower attrition war.
Noggano has clearly been, you know, rehearsing this hard this week. He's playing the top performance, really. Not seeing many mistakes other than the echelons so far this game, you know, whatsoever. And we're again on a triple cap. 110 VPs left. That's less than 2 minutes of gameplay at a triple cap right now. 1 VP per second. And DevM has got to take a VP. In fact, he's got to take 2 VPs in the next minute. Otherwise, this game is sealed and dealed.
Yes.
Out of the tournament in the first round. That is not what DevM wants.
Here in the ESL UK, the fat lady has arrived on scene and she's doing vocal exercises, Daniel.
I thought you meant Klug there.
Don't be nasty.
Walk by. I'm glad he wasn't listening.
Good, yeah, I know, thank God. Vet 3 Grenadier finally capping the Western victory point, just as we spoke of, but we've got this Vet 2 rifle with the LMG waiting behind the tank trap in heavy cover, just keeping the victory point. Oh, the sniper died and all that, by the way, Dan. We lost that bloody moment, of course.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, DevM...
Oh! The STG just picked off that rifle that we're talking about. It must have been in combination with, let's just check it out. Yes, indeed, a bundle nade went off. So we've had loss for loss, tit for tat engagements left, right and centre. DevM probably didn't see his sniper go down, neither did we. He's built another one straight away to make up for it.
The Grenadiers are bunched up on that VP though.
Oh!
He needs to be very, very careful. What is he doing? Is he staying in the
engagement? No, he's trying to pick up the LMG. I think we didn't have enough slots maybe, I don't know. It's madness, whatever it was.
Yeah, madness to stay in that engagement. And he was microing it as well, so clearly he thought he could get away with it.
Did he need to neutralise the victory point, MG going down? Very important unit. Puma trying to push away the Sherman.
I mean, this is the crucial part right now because, of course, Noggano needs to put insane pressure onto the third VP to end this quickly. At the same time, he doesn't want to be overextending because DevM can still take advantage of that. 74 VPs left now. This is when, you know, the real-time pressure comes on, and with Noggano having game 1 already under the belt, DevM's under insane pressure right now. This is really massive point for him, and he does not want to go out of the tournament in the first round.
Doesn't want to go out of the tournament. He never wants to lose, does DevM. He's one of those hyper-aggressive and competitive players. He may have a cool demeanour, but he's one of those guys that you know wants to win, and would hurt him greatly not to. So he's going to be playing seriously, and you're seeing that right now.
I'm just worried about who's going to take out Jove if DevM goes. That's the big thing on my mind. you know, the way that the games have been going over the last.
Oh yes,
you know, it's DevM that beaten Joe previously, and no one else seemingly has.
Yes, he has, famously against his Brits on Crossing in the Woods. You've also seen Helping Hands take out Joe, so never, you know, disregard the handsy man. He's capable of it.
No, not at all.
So the first sniper ended on around 30 odd kills. You got the second one already on 7. So there's snipers for you. If you can get to 14, he'll already pay for himself. And DevM is one of the few players that always rebuilds his sniper because he knows just how good he is with them.
Didn't manage to get that cap on the VP on the right-hand side, which is unfortunate. Really tried for that major, of course, just situated there, making sure it can't be capped.
Yeah.
You know, all Noggano's got to do is sit on these 2 VPs. That's it.
40 remaining. It's massive. And Ostrupen going down. They're just trying to keep the VPs.
Yeah, it's...
I mean, you can always rely on Ostrupen to die under heavy fire from a Sherman and an LMG in this case. Vet 3. Rifleman, massive bonuses there.
Noggano would have to make a huge mistake here, I think, to lose right now.
He'd have to make a series of them, in all honesty.
That being said, Noggano, sorry, DevM's about to get that cap in the mid. I'll be very impressed if he can hold this with 30 VPs. That would be the Barton versus Jezelin that we've been waiting to see again.
It would be a true competitor to that comeback, to be honest. Oh. Big shots coming in though. He's got the Puma, he's got the Panzer IV command tank doing great work, pushing DevM away. He's managing to cap, he's got his sniper in position, but here comes the flank. This could be a great flank, so we'll keep an eye on that as we're keeping an eye on DevM thrusting into the base sectors, and he's able to do that because the infantry is not present currently in the west, but he's repositioning DevM. He's amazing micro done. It's not only is he microing these vehicles, he's just repositioned in the west.
Definitely, and that minefield on the center VPs were really going to help him as well. Just to keep those for a second. Why is Noggano not pushing deeper into the VPs? 30 left. He really should be using those infantry more, but in fact I think he just lost his opportunity to push those in and get the VPs securely.
No, he might be going for the west victory point in this, right? If he takes the garrison, especially here comes the S-Mine! Wiping the rifles!
Here come the mistakes. These are the mistakes we were talking about. These
Could
are
it be?
I don't know.
The fabled game the elders spoke of.
Cast is cursed. That's it. I'm telling you. You know, stop saying things. Stop saying them.
I will if you will, but then I'll...
I mean, that was the minefield there was so perfect because he knew that Noggano was going to come in from that flank, and he knew that if he pressed the retreat button, those riflemen would run through that minefield. That's exactly what they did. The squad got wiped with LMGs, huge pickup. Now he's going to get the triple cap on Noggano. I mean, it's got a long way to go before he actually wins this game like that, but that's an insane turnaround. 30 VPs.
Let's talk about 30 VPs. If you get 2 VPs are going against you, you've got one chance to reclaim them. And then after that, you'd probably be left on 1 victory point, and it'd be literally, you know, grasping it from the clutches of death would DevM be. Here comes the Jackson of all things. Massive shots coming in against the Puma.
He'll get it. The Puma's rate of fire should be able to deal with that. Oh! Yes!
Oh, it's been abandoned down, so we'll be able to retake it, but there you go. Jackson biting the dust, max range shot in. Sherman's also under heavy duress.
That was a really crucial pickup there. It almost looked like it was going the wrong way for Noggano, but that was a really...
Well, he did lose his Jackson, so you could argue he did in terms of fuel. But the biggest thing that's happened... I always say this, victory points matter now. I've got to say it. So you've got these amazing units that we've been talking about for 20-odd minutes. No, at the moment, victory points are the biggest commodity, not fuel, not manpower, not munitions. It's victory points, so you've got to keep an eye on those tickers.
Go. We're just about to have that ticker starting again. It's been a little bit vacant for the last maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And, oh no, engine damage on that Panzer IV. Sherman, of course, is going to be able to deal with that pretty easy. But where is the support for this? There it comes through the center.
God, there it comes.
Oh, artillery's been called.
That is time on target. The not very often used RT ability, but it's there nevertheless.
Where are those Panzer grenadiers? We really need to see those.
We genuinely do. Currently they're cowering behind that shot blocker. They couldn't push in and try and thwart this Sherman. Elsewhere in the east, you've got the Major again keeping the garrison. Ostrupen under heavy duress from the captain. Panzer IV command tank trying to do its best, but just took 2 big bazooka shots through the frontal armour.
Yeah, and Noggano has seen DevM's push for the mid, and of course is capping the left VP at the moment. Still applying VP pressure, and there's nothing to respond to that now. I don't know if he's got enough time to get over to the other VPs at this point. It's driven down 18 now, 17. Yeah, I really think he could possibly just run out of time there.
If he manages to rescue it, he'll leave himself on a few scant victory points, but he might not even get a chance to do that.
This is close.
It's very close. Puma's just come on the field, and it's victory points that matter right now, DevM. It's victory points, not the Sherman that's on the field. Oh! MG was really vital to survival for DevM as well, because obviously MGs in a victory point clutch situation are all important. They suddenly become one of the most important units on the field, just like they were in the first couple of minutes. Grenadier couldn't keep the East. He's just about trying to cap the West. He's got 12 tickers remaining. 11 remaining. Ostrupen trying to be relied upon to keep DevM in the game. They've just had to retreat, and it's curtains just as the Panzer IV Command Tanks takes a massive shot from the captain just to confirm, there you go, the vehicle destroyed one on the captain.
Looks like it's stuck in the wreck there as well, trying to get out of there. I think actually it went kind of into the shell of the Panzer IV then when the carcass came. It couldn't get out, so very unfortunate there. It's unfortunate to keep these units together. Great game though, and
massive
of course
game.
DevM is officially out of the monthly finals. I was not expecting that.
DevM is, but Noggano is through, and Noggano is a massive player. He is the man that can beat Jove, because he's his clanmate. He beat him in Weekly Cup 5 in their first big final for both of them. So there's blood there. Noggano being through is a massive thing. Noggano is a massive player. And keep in mind that, you know, DevM would have respected Noggano going into that, and he had right to. Dan, those first couple of minutes where I was talking about DevM's MG coming into play, where you got the Pioneer, the Grenadier to cut off the cut off attempt in reverse, Noggano countered it beautifully.
He did, yeah. I mean, everything Noggano did in that game was absolutely beautiful. The micro was on point. It all comes down, though, really to that first rush. He got all the right points, completely countered what DevM did, you know, and DevM was in a strong position then. You know, the MG was really well positioned. He had the right stuff on the field. It's just a strange engagement from DevM to lose that Grenadier straight away, fighting in negative cover.
It was Noggano's positioning in his flank that allowed that to happen, though. So we could talk about DevM's mistakes in that situation, but I want to talk about the fact that Noggano. Okay, you're on Longoskaya. Your northern cutoff has been taken away from you. What do most players do? They go down the eastern flank and try and flank around the bushes. DevM was expecting that. Noggano did not do that. He went around the south and from the opposite direction and caught DevM out. And that, from that point onwards, DevM was always on the back foot, and that was shown with the victory point count. So great play from Noggano. We find him 2-0 and through.
Yeah, and I've just refreshed the brackets at the moment, and everybody who's watching right now can do that. If you type !brackets, that'll bring up the brackets list. Otherwise, your mod, Von Klug, will do that. But yeah, actually, both the Russians through into the semi-finals first. It's a big statement.
It's a massive statement of pretty much Russian supremacy, seemingly. You've got the big Russian commissar behind us. He's urging his comrades on and forwards. And yeah, it's not looking too great for the rest of Europe right now. We've got Cruz out, so that's Finland gone. DevM out, that's Portugal biting the dust. We've got Lovenest taking on Talisman, and of course Helping Hands versus Hezulin. So we could be looking at possibly catching up with one of those other quarterfinal games before we go into our big semi-final. We'll probably do a vote to decide which one we watch.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it, as well, that those ones are still going on. So they must be game 3s. Surely.
Oh, yes, good point.
They must be ace games, you would have thought, unless they both have got 2 games in exactly the same way as these gone. But you know, all of these players here, the top 8 today, Jove, Cruzy, Helping Hands, Jason, Lovenest, Talisman, DevM, Noggano, they're all such good players. They've dominated the top of the league constantly. You know, it's so nice to see Jove in the competitive scene now. Talisman, who was our newcomer, if you remember, like maybe a month ago, just kind of popped up, beat some great players, and you know, now look at him. He's in the monthly finals. He's clearly putting some damage to Lovenest, who's just been so strong constantly. Well, they're all such good players, and you know,
I mean,
it's so sad we can't cast all these games.
it really genuinely is, to be honest. We have to pick and choose what we think will be the hype games, and I think we chose pretty damn well with DevM versus good old Noggano there.
I'm glad we did, because otherwise we wouldn't have got to
I mean,
cast
DevM going out was massive.
That is, yeah, that's a big thing. And if anyone wants to know why that's a big thing, previously, I think when we look at the games and the players, who's beating who, you know, it's Jove's been beating Love Nest, but DevM's been beating Jove. Do you know what I mean? There's a whole like chain of events, and with DevM out, it puts the Russians in a very, very strong position. We may even see an entire Russian final. You know, if they
just like week 5,
become a possibility now. That has become a possibility.
They are on opposite sides of the brackets.
Yeah.
Just having a little scout. We could wait for the semi-finals, or I think we'll just jump straight in with Helping Hands versus Hezulin. I think that's a great choice. I think we should do it.
Obviously we don't want to miss the start of the semi-finals if that comes in. So I don't know which. Let's have a look. Do you know how long that's been going on at all? Or?
We can work it out, my friend. Would you like to roll a quick 2-minute break and we'll work it out, and then come back to the viewers with what they're going to see next?
Yeah, sure. I'm more than happy to do that if you give me 1 second.
Dan's on it today. We've got ESL technicians with us. We've got Klug doing some interpretive dancing in the background. I can't read sign language, but there he goes. Oh, he wants to take a photo of us. That's nice.
Did I hear raffle? Is that what I heard? Okay, we're going to get some sign language going on here, because I don't know if I can. Raffle. Raffle. Okay. If you see me do this, you know exactly what it means. We are opening a raffle, so !raffle. That, of course, will give you any of the prizes we have today. We have Commanders, and, of course, Sega have very generously created codes from the Make Love, Not War 3. All of those games that you could have won then, we have codes for.
Also secret specials prizes that will be announced as the stream goes on. It's not going to be the usual fanfare today. So these raffles are big raffles, because everybody wants, you know, OP Commanders, etc. But you know, we're going to have some special stuff as well coming later.
There is, and also we're doing something on Twitter at the moment as well, where you basically retweet the name of the person that you want to win today with the Twitter that is already, it's actually pinned to the top of my Twitter account at the moment, which is at StormlessUK. But I think you'll be able to get it if you type !Twitter in the chat right now. It'll take you to a link for that. Just retweet that with the name of the person that you think is going to win today, and if you're one of those people that tweeted the correct winner, you'll be put into a draw for a grand prize. Yeah.
Not £1,000 though, which is...
That's the grand prize.
All right, a grand prize. That sounds good to me.
A grand. There's a play on words. Jesus.
I'm with you. So the raffle is now going to be open very shortly, isn't it?
It's already open now.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
that's done. So we'll roll over for 2 minutes and come back after.
2-minute break, straight back.
Okay, brilliant.